Hub. Your world, your sound. Imagine your favorite voices following you everywhere, from your smartphone to your car, your smart TV, even your virtual assistant. GC Radio Hub connects you to a universe of content. Check out our wonderful interviews on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, live music shows and podcasts, all at your fingertips. Android TV, Apple TV, Roku, Fire Stick TV. We're there wherever you are, because the only way to stay connected is to get connected. Download the GC Radio Hub app today and let your world come alive.
One and only legendary Miss Mone'T in the building. How you doing today, Mone'T?
I'm good. We are here. We what? Like made it? Like what? Really? We are here.
Amazing. Man, like we said before we went live, we have so much history. I mean, the beginning, man. I mean, it's crazy how we met at a nightclub, started working together, and then time and life, and we went different paths, and your career, mine, and here we are today celebrating both our accomplishments. I mean, life is great. I mean, it's amazing.
It's a beautiful thing when you're able to create and develop relationships with people, and even if they move away, that initial kind of stamps you, for perpetuity, right? So it doesn't matter how long it goes. When it comes back around, it's still the same love, it was from day one. And I'm first of all, I'm so proud of you, just all that you've accomplished and everything that you're doing. And I'm like, look at my fam, just killing it. This is so dope, and everything. Because again, I know where we come from, and back in the day, like where you said before us talking, I mean, going live here, we went on a little memory lane, and this is years, so it's beautiful to just come back and have it come full circle.
Man, speaking of memory lane, like I said, you got a song, you got to give me a copy of it. The first album with the song Tenderness and also Through the Storm. Yeah. I mean, I grew up in East Oakland, hip hop, fanatic, but when you made that song Through the Storm, it took me somewhere, and I would play it a lot of times, and then I had to take it out and play my ratchet stuff, but I would always have to play it to get focused, and it would take me to a peaceful place, and I'm like, I gotta get that song. You gotta send me those two songs.
I will make sure I get them to you. I'll make sure you do. So we're referencing my very, very first full record that I did back in 1996. Yeah, I said that out loud. I did. And I said that out loud, called Mood Swings. And the fun thing about Mood Swings was it was just, we're mid 90s when 90s music was just 90s music. And it's funny now when you hear references about how music, are the favorite decade, it always referenced back to 90s. We had the Jodeci's and the intros and the Mary J's, all her best records came, all this music, just that 90s sound. And Mood Swings was built off the back of just that same sound as well. And I had a good time of making the record because the irony was, we were just going to do a single, and then it was like, let's just finish the record. So we knocked that record out in I want to say 2 weeks. I remember I'm in the studio writing, singing. And I'm like, yeah, that's that young Nay, as I call her. Young Nay back in the day was just in the studio, just killing the writing, going. And finish that record out. But being where I'm from, born and raised Bay Area.
I want to take you down a little trip. Remember, I want to take you down.
Go ahead.
You there, Nate?
I'm here.
I want to play something. I want to play something real quick for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Think about it.
Wow.
There must be a higher love down in the heart of in the stars, but without it. Life's just a wasted time. Hey, look inside your heart. I look inside mine.
Wow.
Things look so bad everywhere in this whole world. What is fair? We walk the line and we try to see, falling behind. But what could be? Whoa, bring me a higher love. Bring me a higher love. Whoa, bring me a higher love. 'Cause that's higher love. Thank you.
Man, when I saw that clip, I just got goosebumps. I remember using a bathroom. We was in the studio. We had the bathroom and trying to make the studio feel to get the noise filter. I mean, in
Yeah.
the beginning, look at my girl on TV. Look at her. I mean, I was so happy for you. I mean, you think that I was singing with you background or something.
Oh,
Look at
wow.
my girl. She's doing this. Oh,
Wow. Crazy.
actually, what was the reaction like when you first saw that video? After being a part of that experience, for those who know that was a voice, after
Hmm.
being experiencing and coming home and watching that, what was it like to see how everybody's reaction to you? I know you was live, but when you off that high and off the stage, you go back and recapture that.
Hmm. It was funny because we did the taping of the audition. You know, that's they call that the audition performance, where the chair turns, and so I had already taped it, and so I was back home. Um, you know, I already knew what I was going to do and everything like that. So I was back home and actually was having dinner with some friends of mine, and they were showing it, and it was so funny because we were having dinner at their house, and then at 5 o'clock, it aired on the East Coast, right? And all of a sudden, my phone just started going blowing up, and I was like, and looking, and you can see just the people in the comment. It was going crazy, and I was like, it has begun, like that. Just watching the reactions and seeing it, and like I said, 5 o'clock, and then 6 o'clock, boom, same. So as it hit every time zone, it just was crazy. It was wow. It was a wow moment doing it live. I was so blessed to have my mother and my sister there as my support, and just to go through that process. It's something I would not have normally just done because I never really was a fan of those types of shows like The Voice and American Idols and all this stuff. And I think mainly because my degree is in psychology and everything, and I'm always thinking about the psyche, the mindset. When these people go on these journeys and these things, and you told, oh, you sound amazing, you sound great, da, 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 and then you get that one thing, and they, you didn't really sound too cool, and everything. And I watched the main thing I'm talking about, even in my audition or during my phase. I watched the people just who didn't make it or who didn't get over on or who didn't weren't able to advance. I saw them go through those moments where it was like they're crying, and going and just losing themselves. So
Let's go
yeah,
back. So what did it begin with the singing career? I mean, what happened? Was it school? Was it church? Where did
church,
Miss Monet come from? Where
church.
did it start
Well,
at?
it started at let my mom say it started just being born. She said I came out probably singing one of the highest notes ever. She said she said you didn't come out screaming and crying. You came out singing. She said you hit a note, and I was like, oh, mom. But I think just growing up, my both my parents were singers. My father, biological father, was with Marvin Gaye for 13 years as a vocalist, and Marvin's one of my godfathers. My mom, of course, parents were gospel promoters in the Bay Area, so she had a very, a thick gospel background. So to grow up with music like that, just all around, you can't help but just fall right on into it. And like I said, that's just mom and dad. My grandmother, on my father's side, she was an amazing classical singer, opera singer. Again, grandparents were gospel promoters and gospel singers as well. So it was just to have this growth of just this constant music all around. It just becomes innate. You know what I mean? And so my mother said she always knew I was going to sing. I just was always singing. Won my first talent show when I was 7, citywide talent show, Pittsburgh, California, and singing Tina Marie. And what's crazy about that is, to go fast forward to show you how, God has a funny uh, sense of humor. I end up working with Tina Marie later on in the year, and Tina Marie became not only just someone I work with, but a very, very dear friend. She became like my musical mom. So it's just so funny to be 7 years old and win a citywide talent show singing It Must Be Magic from that It Must Be Magic record, which had Square Biz and all the stuff on it, to hanging out, having dinner, curling up under Tina Marie later on in life. So it just shows you just how I've been able to just withstand and go through just my journey of music. But music has always just been around me, and it was just something I just knew I was going to do.
Amazing.
Mhm.
So when did you really realize outside of church that this is going to sing in church? I'm going everybody experience the Miss Mone'T and
Church. It was one of those things that, of course, growing up in church and singing in church. Shout out to my cousin Barbara Jean Davis, who ironically was the other voice on your favorite song, "Through the Storm." Um, just being in that element and just kind of singing and just developing through there. I never had any formal coaching or teaching with my voice. It was just something that I was able to curate because singing gospel, because singing in church, mimicking what I would hear, mimicking my grandmother, mimicking my mom, who are my favorite singers in the world, my mother and my grandmother. And then the other two would be Whitney Houston and Barbara Streisand. So just mimicking these voices that I hear and heard, it just was that was my school and development. And, to take that sound and then to kind of just say, okay, well, I want to do it professionally, or I want to move over to here. And it just was kind of a gradual thing that I just kind of just meshed into. I wanted my grandmother to be okay with it though, because I know she was about, you singing at church, you don't sing this or that. But later on, she gave me her blessing, because she says, as long as you use your voice, understand why you use your voice, and what it can do. And it was some words, I can't remember verbatim how she put it, but basically she was saying, you can sing whatever music you want, just be able to understand where the gift comes from and acknowledge that at all times and everything. As I got older, I realized what that meant and everything. And now I tell people, I don't sing because this is what I do. I sing because this is now my ministry. Now I understand what my grandmother was saying to me. So yeah, it was just a beautiful transition to just kind of go from here and realize that, okay, I can do this in a different way too, and everything, and not, worry about it, being coming out of church and going into this next genre or whatever like that. And like I said, and having the backing of my grandmother, it didn't matter.
We got to have those blessings of those that inspire us and get us up. I want to play this clip right here, and this is something you did a little while back, and I was really shocked when you did.
Many years, and it's a song. Joining me on the song is Miss Mone'T.
Yes, I know.
It's a song titled "Ain't No Love."
Come on, man. I mean, wow, this is it. Mone'T, when I watch this and I listen to your vocal skills, I'm not trying to be funny. When I listen to your vocal skills and watch this, I'm thinking Aretha Franklin, Vesta. I'm thinking the greatest of female R&B singers. I mean, and like it sends a chill through my bone. Like I actually know this lady used to work with. We have history, and just to see how much you have blossomed as an artist. You know, when people don't realize when you say you from Oakland, everybody think you need to know Too Short and E40. Well, there's Miss Mone'T, there's Lettucey, there's a lot more. The Tonys, way more than that. You know, we just around so many talented people. We didn't really like trip like, oh, they're going to Tony or whatever, such and such. That's such a, well, there go Jay King. You know, we didn't really trip. You know, and speaking of Jay King, I'm on the Kings in the Morning with him every morning now, Monday through Fridays.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, you know, what I want to ask this. A lot of people don't understand that when you get in entertainment and you do your thing, it's not an overnight process. It takes time. It's a journey, and in that journey, you've worked with so many people. If I'm correct, I think you worked with Hootie and the Blowfish. Am I right?
No, not Hootie and Blowfish.
Okay, you did Huey in the News, right?
Huey Lewis in the News.
Okay, In Vogue.
Not In Vogue. Dawn. I worked with Dawn.
Okay, Dawn. Okay,
and then
part of In
we
Vogue.
did Lucy Pearl, right?
Lucy Pearl's, you know, my man for the Tonys. And now you're doing your thing, and if I'm right, you have a song with Will Downing.
Will Downing, I sure do. And I
mean, that's like full circle. Who are some other people I might have left out that you worked with?
Oh gosh, my mom always said, "Do you write this stuff down?" Because I know gosh, my career spanned, like I said, I started with Huey Lewis in the News. That was my start. Shout out to them. But I always say, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be singing, because they took a chance on a Black girl, a 17-year-old Black girl from the Bay Area, to go on tour with them and allow them to show me the world, which just blew my mind up and allowed me to say, this is really what I want to do. But from Huey, I went from Huey to Kenny Loggins. From Kenny Loggins, I started singing with Jonathan Butler, Patty Austin, both of them. And then, of course, I was the only girl in the Tonys. So shout out to the Tonys. That's my fam. The Tonys. Then from the Tonys, then Eric Benet. From Eric Benet, Lucy Pearl. Then I started singing with Boz Scaggs. And I was recording with him. And then I started singing with him professionally on the road, and I was with Boz for 23 years. Bay Area legend, icon, the iconic Mr. Boz Scaggs. I was with Boz. From Boz, I started singing with Mike, as you just saw, Michael McDonald. Started singing with Michael McDonald, and then the Dukes of September, which was Michael McDonald, Boz Scaggs, and Donald Fagen from Steely Dan.
Wow.
Then I started singing with Queen Latifah. I started singing after Queen Latifah, Dee Dee Bridgewater. Then I started singing with Will Downing. Who else? Will Downing came, Tina Marie. I started singing with Tina Marie. Faith Hill and Tim McGraw. I sung with Faith Hill and Tim McGraw. I went into my country vein. I was with them for about 3-4 years. Most recent, Joe Bonamassa, that guitar guy, Joe Bonamassa. And like I said, and then the Will Downing. So here I am.
Yeah, I just got to stop and give you applause. I mean, that is amazing. Just get this girl a round of applause real quick.
Yeah, it's been a beautiful career. It's been a beautiful journey, and it's funny, and I'm still riding this wave. You know, I was just at the Capitol Jazz Festival with Will 2 weekends ago, and ran into my girl Cy Smith. Shout out Cy Smith, who's another independent artist. She sings with Chris Bodie, but Cy been killing the indie game for a long time. She's literally the blueprint. And she said, we were talking backstage, and she says, Mo, it's just the mere fact that we still here. And I said, girl, come on. And she said, oh, we still here.
I don't know my memory correct. I think he was on a jazz cruise last year.
Shout out, yes, absolutely.
And I was mad. Hey, look, You gonna have to let me know in advance because the ticket sold out like 8 months before the cruise docked. I'm like, they're like, oh, we've been sold out.
It's sold
You
out.
gotta let me know when you're booked so I can get a ticket because they don't last.
Well, let me tell you, the thing with that is, so I'm one of the principal artists on the Smooth Jazz Cruise that happens every year. You gotta go smoothjazzcruise.com. And it's already sold out for 2026 and everything. I tell people just sign up, put your name on the waiting list. We're doing 3 cruises next year, 2 in February and 1. And for the first time, they're doing a West Coast run where we'll be going from Vancouver to San Francisco down to LA in September. And that one still has some availability. But I just tell people, put your name on the waiting list and everything because sometimes they open up stuff. But Miss Mone'T, I am a contracted principal on the Smooth Jazz Cruise. So just sign up because Miss Mone'T will be there. Trust me, they got me in a chokehold. They won't let me go nowhere. But yeah, shout out to Michael Lazaroff and the whole staff over at Signature Cruises and smoothjazzcruise.com. So just sign up. Come on, it's a party too. The best party at sea, I'm telling you.
Please email me that because if not, I'm gonna have to be your bodyguard. I'm gonna have to tell you that. I gotta get on the cruise. I mean, I like this year. Last year I was mad at this.
It is a good time. Like literally, it's a good time. I take my mom with me because I'm on the boat for 2 weeks, and so we go out for a week, come back, and then go back out. So those are 2 weeks. So usually my mom comes out with me, and she's like, and it's been a blessing because to take my mom with me on the road and all the stuff and everything. And she's more famous than me on the boat. They be like, Mama Mo, and she's signing autographs. I'm like, Mama, are you signing autographs? She's like. It's a good time. I highly encourage everybody. And our special guest next year is Kenny G. We'll have Kenny G with us next year. And so I'm excited about Kenny G coming on. And then, like I said, in the fall run, we have Tower of Power and War. So smoothjazzcruise.com. Trust me. Miss Mone'T is in the building.
I'm going to shock you with this one because, it's nice to get things done and everything. But on this one, you came back home.
She's a multi-Grammy winner. She's some of the biggest acts in show business. In fact, she won a Grammy tonight. Get on your feet and give it up for Miss Mone'T.
Wow.
I said Bay Area! I came home to sing tonight, y'all. Is that all right? If it feels good to you, you can get up out your seats. Come on! Taking care of business, baby, can't you see? I gotta make it for you, and you gotta make it for me. I know it seems, hey, I'm neglecting you. Hey, I got to spend more time. I got so many things to do. Whoa, I got work to do. I got work, babe. I got work to do. I got a job, babe. I got work to do. 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 Hey, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Darling, don't stay too long. Pretty baby, I know you're working hard for me. Darling, don't stay away too long. Pretty baby, save the overtime for me. Trying to find something to do, baby, till your return. Turn on the TV or play some solitaire and just a chat for a while. But nothing takes the place of you. No,
So answer this.
Wow.
At this point, what was it like to come back and have a packed house in one of Oakland's own? I mean, to come in and just rock with family and friends that's been supporting over the years, to come back and be like, we still writing this story, but we're gonna write this piece together.
Wow. Oh my God.
What was that like?
You know, yeah, you just got me with that one. That's my Soul of the Diva series that I do, and that was, I want to say that was maybe five, Diva 5. And what's crazy is I literally had bronchitis that night, and my voice was just it was shot. But I was like, I'm sold out. I'm gonna sing it anyway, and everything. And it was so beautiful. Just it's always a blessing to come home and to perform for my family at home. And right now it's like I'm way overdue, and I got to figure out how to get back to Yoshi's. And so I need to speak with my promoter friend out there. He actually has reached out to me and like, okay, Mo, what we got to do to bring it back? Da, da, da. I said, it's time to come on home. It's always just a humbling moment to look out and see these faces that I grew up with, that raised me as a child, that has been just continually supporting me. And that was then. And even now, as I perform in these various cities, I'm seeing these familiar faces, and they're like, now they come up to me and say, I saw you on The Voice, and thank you, I saw you with Will Downing, I saw you with Joe Bonham. Matter of fact, I have a residency, the main artist here at the Supper Club in Vegas called Delilah, and I have these Delilah fans, and they say, I saw you on the so-and-so, and people come up to me. I came in before and I heard you singing, and I had to come back and da da da. So it's just very humbling scenario and situation. So, but when I come home to the Bay, it's just I just literally ball up and cry after it's done, because it's just, matter of fact, earlier this year, I did my first theater show at the Lesher Theater in Walnut Creek, and they saw me on The Voice, and they were like, she's from the Bay, we got to bring her here. And I called it Ode to the Voice, play on the words, of course, but it was me being on The Voice, but me singing the songs and the music of these iconic voices that kind of curated me as a singer, as a vocalist that I am today. So I did the music, of course, of Aretha Franklin, of Shaka Khan, of Ella Fitzgerald, of Nancy Wilson, of Barbara Streisand, of Gladys Knight, Dionne Warwick. So I was able to just kind of touch these bases on all these iconic voices and do it home in the Lesher. And again, another sold out theater at the Lesher Theater. I was like, and this was in January. It was mind blown, because it was my first theater show where I actually produced and curated a whole show. Now, see, Yoshi's, that's a jam, that's a show, but the theater show was more polished, more it produced more. It was amazing. So always.
I gotta say this, and I have to say this, because if not, I get beat up on site. It'll be funk on site. Tina saying she's loving the interview. Tell her sister she love her, and she's and she had the people in and give you a shout out. So I had to do that to
that's
Tina.
What's up. Hey girl, hey.
I want to get beat up.
Yeah,
Let me
exactly.
play this real quick. I know a lot of people don't know about this, but they need
It's
to know this.
BJK calling Miss Mone'T and Will
yeah.
Downing. Yeah. A two-step groove. Yep. Mone'T.
Been watching you all night. I got tempted. I see the sexy other side of you. If what I feel is right, what I feel
while we dance. Ooh, I like it, can't deny it. Damn, I wanna be a man. Girl, you give me chills.
Oh,
Yeah.
listen to this track. You worked with Will so long, and now y'all collab on a joint that is just fire. This is a banging joint.
Thank you so much.
I mean, what it's like to go from the background singing to singing beside your icon and making a hit with them. I mean,
Thank you.
what's this like?
Oh, it just so. Just listening to that song feels just so good, and it's so. That's the thing when you're in a creative space, you want to create music that when you hear it, it just feels good. It just captures you, and it was. We accomplished that with you. Singing with Will Downing for the amount of time, the amount of years that I have, and Will, I say over 10 years now. I love Will. Will is like one of my bestest people in the world, and just he and I chemistry on stage is just magic. And he released a song called his name's his music's making goofs in my head, but he released a song, and I wanted to answer the song, and I said, I have a song I want to answer your song with. I said, but I want you to do it with me. And he was like, of course. I was like, you will sing it with me? He was like, yeah. And I was like, okay. So I kind of wrote out my part and everything, and then I went to his house, and we got in his studio at his house, and he started writing his verse. And once he got his thing, and then he sent it to BJ Kemp. Shout out to BJ Kemp, my producer, who's also a Bay Area boy. BJ, absolutely Bay Area, and BJ got it, and he just y'all came up with some fire, and BJ put two things together, and I went back in the studio with BJ, and we just created, and just what you hear now is Groove With You, and
I'm telling you, man, I play this a lot. I've been following your career since, the start. I never dropped the ball. I mean, you have some amazing music you've made, continue to make, performances. I mean, I just light up. I mean, we're like family, and I'm like, that's my girl. That's my fam right there. I'm one of your biggest. I can't say I'm your biggest fan. I'm not going to lie, because Tina slapped me like, stop lying. I'm in the top 5.
My mom would probably snap both. I'd be like, excuse me, and no. I'm the mama. Groove With You is just every time I hear it, it's brand new for me all over again. It never gets old. That feeling when you hear your music like that, it just never gets old. And it's one of those that it's like, I love creating pieces that don't lose a sense of time either. We released Groove With You I did for my birthday, so this past fall, September, and everything. Before Groove With You, we released Celebrate. And now we're at the new song that we just released two weeks ago. So BJ and I have just been consistent with releasing these great songs, and making sure that the quality is there, making sure that the aesthetic of what you want to feel is there. So, when I hear my music played back to me, it just gives me just I just become just exhilarated. I become emotional. I did a podcast last week, and they were doing the same thing. They start playing all my music, and I literally was in tears because I just said, God,
you have so much music, and it was difficult selecting what I did, and I wanted to do it to take people through the journey, and especially when you're sharing your message that it doesn't happen overnight. How many people you work with, and singing a background singer, but you still get to do the thing you love to do, which is sing, and the relationships you build for it. It's not about the money; it's about the craft. You do have to make money to live, but it's about the craft, the talent, the relationships that's going to keep you in it for the long haul. And you definitely know the assignment, and you got it done. And my assignment was to take you through a little journey and help you tell that story. And for you to enjoy this interview as much as it is for me, because I don't want you just because I want you because it's something that's meaningful that to show that with my talent, I'm able to put something out there to let the people know who is Miss Monet. I know Miss Monet, but I want them to know who's
Thank
Miss.
Thank you. And that's the thing. It's like, it's like I've been in the game and doing it for so long, but yet I'm still being discovered every day. Every day, people, I'm still being discovered. I'm still being hit. People are still finding my performances from The Voice. I literally get messages every day. Someone new has watched The Voice. Oh my God, da da da. And I'm like, gosh, okay, that was, I mean, that was like 3 seasons ago, you know what I mean? But yet it's still being discovered. And that's the beautiful thing about it. Now I Miss Monet from The Voice, from perpetuity, for forever now. So it's about keeping content and music out there, because just because we know it now, someone else is still discovering it and it's brand new for them over there. So that's what I have to remember. And it's important to just keep putting out and doing and being and everything, because I'm constantly still becoming discovered. So thank you again for creating a platform that other people can now still know, oh, that's Miss Monet, or who is she? Okay, well, maybe let me check out some more of her stuff. That's what we need to do.
Put you on the spot with this one. We're coming up with our 2nd year anniversary. We're about to be 2 years old, and we've getting highlighting certain artists that we love personally and relationships with, and we're going to do like a virtual party, and we'd love to have you part of that.
Oh, wow. I know, that would be dope. When are we doing this? Let me know when.
Okay. Also, we're in January we'll be launching Get Connected TV. So we have 3 television channels. We're doing internet TV as well as internet radio. We got 11 radio stations. We have 3 TV stations starting out. And the reason doing this, my idol was Kathy Hughes from TV One and Radio One. So I'm doing it through the internet her way, and this is my goal and our way to reaching out. And just to let you know, we're in 132 countries today, and you're being heard 42% of our listeners out of the UK. So those are our biggest supporters of the United Kingdom. They
absolutely. And it's funny. I mean, Groove With You went to number 2 on the UK soul charts, and in the new song, You're Gonna Need Me is climbing up as well. I'm looking at, they're sending me the charts every week, and I'm like, oh wow, here we go. So it's just to have the support worldwide is just a beautiful feeling, and I'm so grateful and thankful for it.
I'm gonna do this real quick. This is my boy LP. He's our #1 jazz and R&B DJ. He wanted to say hello to you. He's a big fan too. He's like, I'm not familiar. Oh, I saw on The Voice. I know who she is. So I'll let him come out and say a shout out real quick.
How you doing? It's so good. Oh man, your voice is up there, okay? Like Tony Braxton, Shaka Khan, Jennifer Hudson. You remind me of Mesa, the late Angela Bofield, Vesta, Phyllis Hyman. I could go on.
It's so funny because everybody that you've mentioned, I've gotten reference to, especially when I'm on that crew, on that boat. They're like, you remind me of Mesa. I got pictures and someone said, oh my God, you remind me of Phyllis Hyman. And then, you remind me, I had the Vesta references. I mean, it's so funny you say that. Angela Bofield, it's crazy. So, wow. Okay. Well, shout out to those amazing, iconic women, and me being Miss Monet, here I am.
I love hearing that you're singing your ministry and that you work with so many people, and Will Downing. I have everything of Will Downing. So when that song just, oh my God, you floored me with that.
Thank you.
Keep doing you. Thank you for letting me speak to you and meet you.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate it. Oh.
Well, we let you go. Well, I need 2 things. A, we need to get some drops and get the new music from you. And second, would you let everybody know where to find you in your social media so they can connect you other than through GC Radio? How they can get hold of Miss Monet?
You can always find me on IG, Instagram at THEE Miss MS Monet, MONET. So the Miss Monet on Instagram. On Facebook, you can go to Miss Monet or look for Moniacs. My Moniacs. MONIACS, Moniacs. You can find me there. And on Twitter, X, whatever it's called, Miss Monet there. TikTok, I am the Miss Mone'T there as well. And then, or you can always just go straight to my website, www.missmonet.com. And you can get everything, find me everywhere. Again, the new single, You're Gonna Need Me, has dropped. Please, 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 please. It is a Dionne Warwick classic that I did over, and written by the amazing team of Holland Dozier Holland. And I got even the blessing of Lamont Dozier's son, who's a dear friend of mine, Lamont Dozier Jr., who gave me his overall blessing of the new song, You're Gonna Need Me, that I redid, that his father wrote. So it's out on all streaming platforms. So go make sure you check out that You're Gonna Need Me, because trust me, it's it's one of them ones. Yeah.
But thank you so much, Mone'T.
You're
I
welcome.
really appreciate you. We got to have you back. I'm going to need those radio tags. I'm going to need that new music. And we definitely got to have you back on the show.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love to. And again, thank you so much. And what a blessing to just go down memory lane with you, fam. Wow. You pulled out some fun. Oh my God.
We did.
Yeah.
For all my people tuning in, you know I say that famous phrase, we hope we leave you better and receive you with a smile on your face and grace wherever you may roam. Thank y'all for tapping in your favorite Cuzzin Chief, your favorite station, GC Radio, and one of my favorites are the Miss Mone'T, y'all. Thank y'all for tapping in.
In a world of endless noise, one sound cuts through. GC Radio Hub. Your world, your sound. Imagine your favorite voices following you everywhere. From your smartphone to your car, your smart TV, even your virtual assistant. GC Radio Hub connects you to a universe of content. Check out our wonderful interviews on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, live music shows and podcasts, all at your fingertips. Android TV, Apple TV, Roku, Fire Stick TV. We're there wherever you are, because the only way to stay connected is to get connected. Download the GC Radio Hub app today and let your world come alive.